call on President Abdullah Yamin Abdul Gayoom. During the call, the President welcomed the General to the Maldives and conveyed greetings and good wishes to President Mamnoon Hussain and Prime Minister Shahid Haqqan Abbasi of Pakistan. Highlighting the continued assistance and support of Pakistan for the development of the Maldives, the President expressed hope and confidence that two countries will continue working together on bilateral and international issues of common concern to further strengthen the close ties of friendship and cooperation that exist between the two countries. The General thanked the President for receiving him and extended greetings and good wishes of the President, Prime Minister and the people of Pakistan to the President, the government and the people of the Maldives. Noting that Pakistan and the Maldives are two brotherly Muslim nations, the General emphasized on further cultivating existing ties of friendship, understanding cooperation in all fields of new heights in the years to come. Moreover, General Qamar Javed Bajwa paid a courtesy call on Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Muhammad Asim and Minister of Defense and National Security Adam Sharif Umar. The Pakistani Army Chief is on an official visit to Maldives on invitation of Chief of Maldivian National Defense Force Major General Ahmad Shyam. Maldives Ambassadorial Workshop concludes substantive discussion sessions on tourism, environment and fisheries. According to Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the first session was held on tourism as a sustainable tool for development, the Maldives experience, in which a panel discussion was held on tourism concept, protection of the marine environment and sharing the experience of Maldives in tourism development. In addition, the second session was held on environment and climate change, opportunities and challenges, in which a panel discussion was held on climate change and its impacts on economic diversification as a tool for climate change adaptation and sharing Maldives' experience in climate change mitigation and adaptation. The third and the last session was held on the sustainable fisheries as a viable economic activity, trends and challenges, in which a panel discussion was held on pole and line fishing of Maldives, its experiences and how sustainable fisheries management leads to economic gains. The Maldivian delegation was led by Permanent Representative of Maldives to United Nations, Ali Nasir Mohammed. Delegations from 14 countries are taking part in the 3-day Maldives Ambassadorial Workshop, which is being held in Bandos, Maldives. Minister of Housing and Infrastructure Dr. Muhammad Muiz says the first two pairs of China-Maldives Friendship Bridge are connected, forming the first superstructure of the largest infrastructure project to be conducted in the country. In a tweet, Housing Minister Muiz said the first two pairs forming the first superstructure are Pier 22 and Pier 23 of the bridge. Housing Minister assured the construction of the bridge is progressing according to the schedule and added that the superstructure of the bridge would be completed by July 9th. The 1.39 kilometers long bridge will have 2 car lanes and separate lanes for bicycles, motorcycles and pedestrians. The total expense of the project amounts to $200 million, out of which $116 million is provided as a free aid by the government of China. Maldives formulates new regulation on the retirement pension scheme for expatriates. Under new regulation formulated under the Maldives Pension Act, expatriates aged 16 to 65 can apply for the retirement pension scheme. According to Maldives Pension Administration Office, if the points in the scheme are met, expatriates with the approval of the employer can be part of the scheme. The new regulation by the Pension Administration Office states if an employee leaves the country before the retirement age, they will be granted the money from the retirement savings account, excluding the money in the recruit pension registry. Furthermore, the employee must submit the form requesting for the pension money 3 months before leaving the country. The new regulation also notes the payment must be processed within 45 days after submitting the application. Ministry of Environment and Energy contracts SJ Construction Private Limited to establish storage facilities in 3 islands. The agreement of the project was signed by Minister of Environment and Energy Tariq Ibrahim and Managing Director of SJ Construction Muhammad Shihad. Under the agreement, SJ Construction Private Limited will establish storage facilities in Bileddu in Faf Atoll, in Namadu in Ra Atoll and Fiva in Shavin Atoll. Speaking after the signing agreement, the Environment Minister highlighted the efforts of the government to ensure safe storage facilities in all islands in the Maldives. The project, funded by the Public Sector Investment Program PSIP of the government, is expected to cost over $2.7 million. SCA Construction is contracted to complete the project within 12 months. Youth Leaders Network YLN concludes a successful forum on developing nationalism in youth at Kurudufushi of Hadal Atoll. According to YLN, the forum was aimed at raising awareness in developing strong and dependable youth for the future. The forum, which was initiated on the occasion of 50 years of the Maldives Republic, was also aimed at enhancing the youth of the country by disseminating information on the importance of leadership. Addressing the closing ceremony, Manager of Maldives National University's Kurudufushi campus, Ibrahim Mohammed, noted the responsibility of each individual youth to do the best for the betterment of the country. In this regard, he called on all participants of the forum to utilize the information attained by the forum in the best means. The forum saw the participation of 50 students from various schools and colleges established in Kurudufushi. YLN revealed plans of conducting similar forums in Lam Atoll and Horafushi of Halif Atoll in the near future. YLN is a network which functions under the Ministry of Home Affairs. CEO of Maldives Expo and Conference Services Private Limited, Asim Mukhtar, reveals exhibitors of Maldives International Education and Career Expo have shown keen interest in conducting such an exhibition in Addu City. In an exclusive interview with PSM News, Asim Mukhtar noted the exhibition received a record number of visitors this year.
Asadi Services Private Limited and Maldives Exhibition and Conference Services Private Limited conducted Maldives International Education and Career Expo 2018 to disseminate information on the latest educational opportunities from Maldives and abroad. In an exclusive interview with PSM News, CEO of Maldives Expo and Conference Services, Asim Mukhtar, noted that this year was the most successful year of the 3 successive editions of the Expo. In this regard, he highlighted exhibitors have shown keen interest in conducting such an exhibition in Addu City next year.
So the reason we bring this expo, there's an opportunity for Maldivian students, not only students, working adults as well, to come and see what is there available in all their courses, colleges, universities, and talk to the counselors. That's the main objective of this exhibition. They get a chance to come, not only see brochures, but talk to the counselors. There are even lecturers over here who have flown down especially for the exhibition. So this gives you an opportunity to talk directly to lecturers and counselors.
The organizers revealed that the expo, which was held from March 29 to 31 at Darbaruge Convention Center, disseminated information on scholarship and other educational opportunities from vibrant fields such as medical, architecture, business and accounting.
We provide education in design field. So we provide fashion design, interior design, visual communication design, digital media design, and we also do fashion marketing and communication.
To have some activities around our years and give them some more information as to the preparation we offer, the registration support and the test day experience and all that. That's why we are here to give them that knowledge and awareness.
We are providing French classes, French courses to everyone, for beginners and to those who want to improve the level also.
We have courses ranging from our certificate level 4 foundation to our newly introduced Masters of Business Administration program.
We have separated courses. For example, we have photography and we have electrician, refrigeration and pharmacy, nursing. These are the courses we are running now.
In addition, special seminars were also organized in fields such as fashion designing and aviation. The exhibitors expressed elatedness on the rave response received by the public in the 3-day expo.
This has been a high attraction because we are giving some gifts and we have some competitions. If you see We have a little question and answer session happening. We have a photo booth happening on our side. So there's a lot of activity around the stall.
It's really good because we were expecting good turnover, and we really got a good response from this exhibition.
We have got a good set of good responses basically because they have been asking us how we can support them if they come to Sri Lanka with the lodging facilities, and whether we can arrange some customized courses. So we see that there is a potential for HR in Maldives.
The platform provides an opportunity for locals to interact with high-ranking officials from various international universities and colleges. Interested candidates were also given opportunity to process on-the-spot applications at the expo. Maldives International Education and Career Expo has concluded the third successive edition with participation of over 40 exhibitors. This year's expo saw exhibitors from vibrant fields such as medicine, fashion designing and aviation. From Darbaruge Convention Center, Ismail Azim, PSM News.
Maldives Getaways reveals over 100 properties in the Maldives have confirmed their participation in the second edition of Travel Trade Show of Maldives 2018. Travel Trade Show of Maldives TTM 2018 is scheduled to be held at the Darbaruge Convention Center from May 1st to 3rd. Maldives Getaways expects that along with over 140 resorts and hotel properties, 200 international buyers and media agencies will also attend the show. Premium exhibitors include Adaran Resort, Angiri Resorts, Crown and Champa Resorts, Bandos Maldives and Villa Hotels and Resorts Maldives. The TTM Gala Night, which will be held at Adaran Select Huduram Fushi, will host TTM Awards on May 2nd. TTM will also host the second edition of the Hotelier Summit, targeting the hotel investors, leading hotel owners, operators, developers, architects, interior designers and consultants. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi says China will import goods of $8 trillion in the next 5 years and significantly ease its market access. Wang Yi, also a newly endorsed state councillor, made the remarks when addressing the first business summit of the Greater Mekong Sub-Region GMS Economic Cooperation opened in the Vietnamese capital of Hanoi.
In addition to the planned imports, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang also promised to attract $600 billion of foreign investment in the same time period. The Foreign Minister reiterated China's commitment to market opening up in his address to the heads of states and business representatives from the region. He said China will implement the policies liberalizing trade and investment at the high level, ease market access significantly, further open up the service and financial sectors in particular, protect the legitimate rights and interests of overseas investors, protect intellectual property rights, and create a world-class business environment. Wang Yi added that China hopes other countries can remain open too, as the process should be mutual. Wang's remarks follow recent U.S. proposals of tariffs on Chinese imports for alleged trade violations. Wang said trade frictions are inevitable but should be resolved through fair consultation based on trade rules. The Chinese Foreign Minister also warned that protectionists would only close their own door to China's market and hurt themselves in the end. Wang is in Vietnam to attend the 6th summit of the GMS Economic Cooperation and to pay an official visit to the country from Friday to Monday.
Dozens of Palestinian youth gathered by the Gaza-Israel border a day after deadly violence broke out in one of the biggest Palestinian demonstrations there in years.
In the southern Gaza Strip, residents said Israeli troops fired warning shots towards a crowd of youths, some of whom burnt tires. Health officials said 2 people were wounded, and an Israeli military spokesman said he was checking the details. Tens of thousands of Palestinians had gathered on Friday along the fenced 65-kilometer frontier, where tents were erected for a planned 6-week protest, pressing for a right of return for refugees and their descendants to what is now Israel. At least 15 Palestinians were killed by Israeli security forces confronting protesters. The Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas declared Saturday a national day of mourning, and a general strike was called across the occupied West Bank. Thousands in Gaza marched through the streets at funerals for those who were killed.
Vote counting following Egypt's presidential elections has continued since Wednesday night, with President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi chalking up a large share of the vote as expected.
Ballots have been sent from 13,000 polling stations to general vote counting centers, and preliminary results have been slowly emerging. As many predicted, the incumbent president is comfortably in the lead in all cities and has collected a 90% share of votes so far. The average turnout by Friday's counts is in the range of 36% of the total electoral college. To ensure the highest possible turnout, the government applied a $30 fine on those who did not vote. An estimated 30 million people have not voted, with the government expected to collect $900 million. After polling stations were closed, several monitoring agencies announced their reports. The Common Market of Eastern and Southern African State, COMESA, and the Community of Saharan States, CANSAD, sent a joint monitoring team to Egypt, and they roundly praised the voting process.
The group of observers of CANSAD and COMESA notes to date that the presidential elections held in the Arab Republic of Egypt from the 26th to the 28th of March 2018 was conducted under conditions of transparency, inclusiveness, credibility and regularity.
The 3 days of the vote passed without incident in spite of threats by militant groups to damage the elections. Meanwhile, Mustafa Musa, who ran against Sisi for the top post, said he is satisfied with the process and will accept the outcome. The results will be officially announced on April 2nd, and the winner will be formally sworn in as president in June.
A fire broke out at the Houthi-controlled Yemeni port of Hodeidah, destroying warehouses filled with cooking fuel and foodstuffs.
Fire trucks had not been able to put out the blaze in the warehousing area, which they said appeared to have been caused by an electrical short circuit. Reuters television footage showed thick plumes of smoke rising into the air and firefighters dousing the flames. Hodeidah port on the Red Sea handles the bulk of Yemen's imports, including critically needed food and aid supplies. The 3-year war in the country, which was already the Arab world's poorest, has pushed it to the verge of famine. A United Nations World Food Programme WFP employee told Reuters by telephone that there would be an investigation to determine the cause. Workers said the warehouses also contained hundreds of thousands of mattresses meant for those displaced by the war, which has killed more than 10,000 people and crippled the economy. The United Nations says that 3 out of the 4 Yemenis, which amounts to 22 million civilians, need relief aid. The Saudi-led coalition intervened in Yemen's civil war in 2015 to restore the internationally recognized Yemeni government that was forced into exile by the Iran-allied Houthis.
In sports, Zlatan Ibrahimovic scores twice on his LA Galaxy debut, including a winner in the stoppage time as his new team battled back from 3 goals down to defeat the upstart LAFC 4-3 in the thrilling match.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who came on as a substitute in the 71st minute, scored 6 minutes into his first MLS game with a dipping 35-meter shot that soared over the outstretched arms of LAFC goalie Tyler Miller. The Swedish striker followed up with a gutsy header in the 91st minute from a pass by Ashley Cole that proved to be Galaxy's winner, sending the sell-out crowd of over 27,000 into a frenzy on a sun-soaked day in Southern California. The inaugural El Tráfico Derby was all one-way traffic at the start as expansion team LAFC immediately put pressure on a short-handed Galaxy squad who were playing without Romain Alessandrini, Jonathan Dos Santos and Giovanni Dos Santos. Trailing 3-1, Galaxy fans began chanting for Ibrahimovic and coach C.G. Schmidt obliged, bringing the towering forward into his first match since December as he recovers from a knee injury suffered playing for England's Manchester United. Ibrahimovic exceeded the sky-high expectations placed on his shoulders and instantly made good on his promise to help the Galaxy return to their winning ways after a dismal 2017 campaign where they failed to make the playoffs for the first time since 2008.
If you look back, every team I came to, first official game I scored. And I said I will not let it down today. I will score also today, and I was just waiting to come in, because when you lose 3-0, the adrenaline is pumping even more, because you wanna be able to do something, help the team, help, especially when they're in a difficult situation. And I just wanted to come in, and then the fans were demanding something, and I gave them Zlatan.
Next up for the Galaxy is a trip to Sporting Kansas City on April 8th, while LAFC host Atlanta United next Saturday.
According to scientists, all operations of China's 3 Gaofen-1 imaging satellites are operating well.
China launched 3 Gaofen-1 imaging satellites as part of the country's high-definition Earth observation project on Saturday. The 3 satellites, respectively named as Gaofen 102, Gaofen 103 and Gaofen 104, were launched on the back of a Long March 4C rocket from the Taiyuan Satellite Launch Center in northern Shaanxi province. It was the 270th flight mission by Long March carrier rocket. The satellites entered the preset orbit at 11:56, marking a success in this launch mission. As high-resolution imaging satellites that are accurate to 2 meters in distance, they will be used for fields including disaster warning, ecological protection, infrastructure construction, transportation and emergency response.
With that, we conclude the news for this bulletin. Thank you for joining us and have a pleasant day ahead. Bye-bye.